Is Tanya Martin the big bad for season 1 of Dexter Original Sin? Let's talk about it. What's up everyone, I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. Today let's discuss a theory that I have for season 1 of Dexter Original Sin. As we know, there is a big bad for the season, someone who is kidnapping kids. They've already kidnapped and killed Judge Powell's kid, and now Captain Aaron Spencer's kid, Nikki, has been kidnapped in the previous episode. But we still don't know who is behind the kidnappings. I have a couple theories actually. I originally thought that it could be Captain Spencer. If you have not seen my Captain Spencer theory video, I will link it down below for you guys in the description. But today we're talking about Tanya Martin. She is yet another suspect for me. Now, I think season 1 of Original Sin is pretty interesting because I feel like they're sort of taking a different approach than past Dexter seasons. I feel like usually as the audience, we find out who the big bad is pretty early on. I feel like in season 4 with Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity killer, we saw him kill in, I think, episode 1 of the season. If not episode 1, it was definitely very early on. Same thing with season 5, like Boyd Fowler, we find out that he's the killer very early in the season. Season 6, Travis, the Doomsday Killer, we know that it's him. And then we get to watch along as Miami Metro hunts them down at the same time as Dexter hunting them down. But with season 1 of Original Sin, we still don't know who the killer is. And there's only 4 episodes left, so when are we going to find out who it is? I wonder if, they're going to reveal it to the audience in the next episode, episode 7, or if we're not going to find out until the finale. Either way, let's talk about some reasons why I think it could be Tanya Martin. First of all, the creators of the show said that whoever the big bad is will be very surprising and shocking to viewers. So that makes me think it's someone that we've already met, someone that we know, someone that we think is a good person. I don't think they're going to reveal it and have it just be this random person that we don't know at all, someone who we haven't seen on screen yet. I think it's going to be someone that we've seen. Tanya Martin is interesting because she's just kind of always in the background. She doesn't really have a big role. She hasn't been in that many scenes. It was a little suspicious in a previous episode when she had to leave work for her daughter's basketball game. Obviously, she could be telling the truth, but I don't know, just that scene stood out to me. And I think just the fact that she is forensics, just like Dexter, she would know exactly what the police would look for at a crime scene. Which brings me to episode 6, when everyone at Miami Metro is talking about Captain Spencer's son being taken. Tanya said that whoever did this knew what they were doing, everything was wiped clean, and they even managed to avoid the oil spill on the garage floor, and there was nothing to go on.
We swept the garage and the house, and whoever did this knew what they were doing. They didn't leave anything behind. The entire crime scene was wiped clean. They even managed to avoid the oil spot on the garage floor. Aaron, there's nothing to go on.
And like I already said, she obviously would know what she was doing. And she would know to have everything wiped clean. She would know what the police would look for. Another thing during this scene that I find a little suspicious is this look from her.
The fucking word. That goes for every one of you. Do you understand me?
Notice how, after Captain Spencer says something to the rest of the group, the camera just quickly goes to Tanya. I thought this scene was so suspicious. It's almost like they're telling us to pay attention to her. But what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment down below. And not to mention, Sarah Michelle Gellar is listed as a special guest star. And oftentimes in the original Dexter show, whoever is the special guest star ends up being the killer. Like John Lithgow, Colin Hanks, even Jimmy Smits. Even though he wasn't the big bad, he was still sort of a serial killer that Dexter had to take out. So the fact that Sarah Michelle Gellar is a guest star, I think she should be on our radar. Now, I did go back and look at the scene when Nikki gets abducted, just to kind of see if you can tell if this is a man or a woman. And it is a little hard to tell. The killer doesn't look particularly tall, so I guess it could be her. But you can also tell it doesn't look like this person has boobs. But of course, she could always use something to strap them down, which is something that I would totally do if I wanted to get away with this. Like, obviously, something like that could be an obvious detail. If you're a woman, you're going to want to make yourself look like a man so that no one suspects you. But also, the person who did the actual kidnapping doesn't even have to be her. It could be someone that she's working with. Maybe she has an accomplice and she's just involved somehow. If Tanya does end up being the big bad, I do think that Dexter will kill her before anyone else finds out. If it's her, I don't think Miami Metro is going to uncover this. I think Dexter will and, kill her and dispose of her before anyone finds out. Because I do think it would pose an issue, like sort of a plot hole with the original show. Because if the killer ends up being someone from Miami Metro, I feel like years in the future, during season 2 of Dexter, when people think that Jokes is the Bay Harbor Butcher, someone would have said like, wow, this is the second time that someone from Miami Metro is a killer. It's the second time that one of our own was a bad guy. So if it is her, Dexter's going to take her out before anyone uncovers the truth. But again, this could have a little plot hole because I feel like Tanya's sort of like a mentor to Dexter. And, in the original show when Dexter's kind of like doing his inner voice thing, wouldn't he have told us, the audience, about that time he had to take out his mentor? I don't know. It wouldn't be the first plot hole when it comes to these two shows. There are several inconsistencies between Dexter Original Sin and the original show, which I do plan on making a video about down the road after Dexter Original Sin season 1 is over. I'm probably going to make a big video with all of the inconsistencies between the shows. But that is it for today. That is my theory on why I think Tanya Martin could be the big bad for season 1 of Dexter Original Sin. Please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this is plausible or do you think it's someone else? And if you do, who are some of your suspects? Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, make sure you turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on future Dexter theories like this one, and I will see you guys next time.